Students, welcome back to Social Online Class. I am very happy to meet you in this session. How are you, students? I hope you all are fine and safe by the grace of God. Students, now which lesson we are learning? Have you remember? Very good. Now we are learning Economics Lesson 1. Is it? Economics Lesson 1, Cross Domestic Product and its Growth. Okay. From this lesson, in the previous class, which topic we learned? Have you remember? Very good. We learned about contribution of different sectors in GDP of India. Then we learned about sector-wise contribution in GDP of India. Sector-wise contribution of GDP, percentage share. Okay, these are the things we learned in the previous class. Is it? In the beginning of this class, we can recollect few important points about previous class portion. Okay. First of all, we learned about contribution of different sectors in GDP of India. Contribution of different sectors in GDP of India. Is it? Service sector. It is the largest sector of India. Is it? How many sectors are there? Very good. There are three sectors. That is, there are Indian economy is divided into three sectors. Is it? What are the three sectors? Excellent. Primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, or agricultural sector, industrial sector, and service sector. Is it? From here, service sector is the largest sector of India. Which sector is the largest sector of India, students? Very good. Services sector is the largest sector of India. Okay. From through service sector, India accounts 54.40 percentage of total India's total Indian rupees. Okay, and also through industrial sector, 29.73 percentage of Indian rupees are we are earning. Then through agricultural and allied sector, we contribute 15.87 percentage. Listen very careful, students. Through service sectors, we are contributed 50.43 lakh crore. Through industrial sector, we contribute 29.73 percentage Indian rupees. Then through agriculture and allied sectors, we contribute 15.82 percentage. From here, cross value added, it is one of the important things. GAV, is it? What is the abbreviation of GAV? Very good. Cross value added. GAV abbreviation is cross value added. It is the measure of the value of goods and services produced an area, industry or sector of an economy. Okay. Then India is the second larger producer of agriculture product. Which country is the second larger producer of agriculture product? Very good. India. India is the second larger producer of agriculture product. Okay. India accounts 7.39 percentage of total global agricultural outputs. That means in the whole world, India alone accounts 7.39 percentage of agricultural output. Okay. Then next, we learned about sector-wise contribution in GDP of India. Is it year-wise? For example, 1950 to 51, through agricultural-wise, how much percentage we are contributing. Then through industrial-wise, how much percentage we are contributed. Through services-wise, how many percentage are we are contributed. Is it? That are the things we learned. From here, in the year 2017 to 18, how much percentage agricultural wise we are contributed? Very good. 17.01. Okay, through agricultural wise, in the year 2017 to 18, we are contributed 17.1 percentage. is it? Then students, through industrial wise in the year 2017 to 18, how much percentage we are contributed? Very good. 29.01 percentage we are contributed through industrial sector. Then in the year 2017 to 18, how much percentage we are contributed through service sector? Very good. 53.09 percentage we are contributed. Okay. Likewise, each year wise, how much we contributed, sector wise, how much we contributed, that in the tabular column given, one word question it will come, you have to learn. Okay, students. Then finally we learned about sector wise contribution of GDP. For example, agricultural sector wise we are contributed 15.87, agricultural forestry and fishing wise 15.87, industrialized sector wise 29.73, mining and quarrying wise 2.7, manufacturing wise 16.83, electricity, gas, water supply and other utility services wise 2.67, then construction wise 7.54, services sector wise 54.4, trade, hotel, transport, communication and services are related some of the things through 18.62, financial, real estate, professional services wise 20.96, public administrative wise 14.82 we are contributed. Through all these things, services sector wise we are contributing more. For example, how much percentage we are contributing through service sector? Very good. 54.4. 54.4 percentages income we are contributed through service sector. Okay. These all things we learned in the previous class. Okay, students. Now let us come forward to today's class. Okay. Today I am going to teach economic growth and development. Today I am going to teach about economic growth and development. Okay, listen students. As per the economist Amartya Sen, one of the important economist Amartya Sen, he said the definition about economic growth and development. Okay, he said about economic growth is one aspect of economic development. He told about one economic growth is one aspect of economic development. That means economic growth is one's idea or problems of economic development. Okay, and also United Nations see take this economic development focuses not only man's materialistic need, but it focuses overall development or rise in its living standards. Listen very careful, students. The American, that means the United States economist mentioned the economic development focuses not only on man's materialistic, that means not only the needs of human beings, it is focuses on overall development or rise in its living standard. Okay, then some of the economists give the details about economic growth and economic development. Okay, first of all, I am going to teach about economic growth. Okay, economic growth. Economic growth is the quantitative measure which consider the rise in the output produced in an economy or nation in a particular period of time in the monetary value. Listen very careful, students. Economic growth is the quantitative measure which consider the rise in the output produced in economy or nation in a particular period of time to its monetary value. Okay, money, value of money. Monetary value means the value of money. Okay, then the key parameters of economic growth in any economy are its gross domestic product and gross national product, where helps to measuring the actual size of an economy. how we can measure the actual size of an economy through cross domestic product and cross national product. The measure of cross domestic product and cross national product helps us to measure the actual size of an economy. Okay, then for example, we say GDP of India is 2.8 trillion USD and ranked sixth in global wise. Okay, for example, GDP of India is 2.8 trillion USD. USD means United States dollar. Okay, USD means United States dollar. 2.8 trillion United States dollar. It is the sixth rank of global wise GDP. Then GDP of United States of America is 19.3 trillion USD and it ranked one. It shows how much the production of goods and services increased compared from last year in a quantitative manner. Through this way, we can compare last year's production and present year's production. How much productions are increased through this present year? We can find out about through this economic growth. Okay, then it has many parameters to measure and few of them are human resources. They are natural resources, advancement of technology, capital formation, political and socio-economic factors. Through these ways, many human resources are given some of the income in the particular country. Okay, then totally economic growth is the quantitative measure which considers the rise in the output produced in an economy or nation in a particular period of time in its monetary value. Okay, then the next one is the economic development. Next one is the economic development. Okay, economic development project. It is a broader picture of an economy which takes into account an increase in production level or output of an economy along with an improvement in the living standard of people. Okay, that means economic development. It is one of the broader picture of economy which takes the accounts of increasing the production level. Okay, it increasing the production level or output of an economy along with an improvement of living standard of the people. Okay, it focuses more on socio-economic factors. The economic development focuses more on socio-economic factors, just quantitative increase in production. Economic development is a qualitative measure which measures improvement in technology, labor reforms, rising living standards, broader institutional changes in an economy. Economic development is a qualitative measure. Before that, we learned about economic growth. Economic growth is the quantitative measure. Okay, listen very careful, students. Economic growth is a quantitative measure. In the same time, economic development is a qualitative measure. Okay, qualitative measure which measures the improvement of the technology, labors, some of the reforms, living standard of people, some of the institutional state changes, etc. Okay, then next we are going to learn about the differences between economic growth and economic development. Okay, the next topic is differences between economic growth and economic development. Before that, just I explained about what is economic growth and what is economic development. Is it? Just now I explained. For example, economic growth is the quantitative measure, economic development is the qualitative measure. Is it? Keep it in your mind that point. Now, the next topic is differences between economic growth and economic development. Listen very careful, students. One of the 5 mark question, important question. So listen very careful. Now I am going to teach about differences between economic growth and economic development. Okay. First of all, given comparison of between economic growth and economic development. From here, definition and meaning, concept, nature of approach, scope, term or tenure, applicability. Okay, these are the things. Applicability, then measurement techniques, frequency of occurrence, government aid, wealth distribution. These are the things given in the difference between economic growth and economic development. Okay, first of all, the definition and meaning. Okay, economic growth and economic development. The definition of economic growth is, it is the positive quantitative change in the output of an economy in a particular period of time. Okay, economic growth is the quantitative change on the output of an economy in a particular period of time. At the same time, economic development considers the rise in the output in an economy along with the advancement of HDI index, which considers a rise in living standards, advancement in technology, overall happiness index of a nation. HDI means Human Development Index. The abbreviation of HDI means Human Development Index. Okay, Human Development Index. It is one of the tool to measure the real development of economy. The HDI is help to measure the real development in an economy. Okay, so the definition of economic development is that it considers the rise in the output of an economy along with the advancement of HDI index, which considers a rise in living standards, advancement in technology, and overall happiness index of a nation. Okay, then concept. The economic growth concept is, it is the narrower concept. It is the narrower concept. That means short distance. Economic growth is the short distance, narrower concept. That means short distance. Then the concept of economic development is the broader concept. Broader, that means wide concept. That one short distance, this is wide distance. Okay, then nature of approach. Next one is the nature of approach. Quantitative in nature. Economic growth is the quantitative in nature. Economic development is the qualitative in nature. Okay, then scope. The scope of economic growth is rise in parameters like, parameters means the measurement, like GDP, GNP, FDI, FII, etc. The economic growth, the scope of economic growth, that is the rise of measures like GDP. The abbreviation of GDP is gross domestic product. GNP, gross national product. FDI means foreign direct investment. The abbreviation of FDI is foreign direct investment. Then FII, the abbreviation of FII is foreign institutional investment. Foreign institutional investment. Okay, then the scope of economic development is rise in life expectancy in a rate, infant, improvement in literacy rate, infant mortality rate, and poverty rate. Okay, then terms and tenure. The terms and tenure of economic growth is short term in nature. Uh, the economic development is long term in nature. Okay, then applicability. Developed nation, developing economics. Developed nation and developing economics. Then measurement techniques. In the economic growth, increase the national income. Economic growth increase the national income. Economic development increase in real national income. For example, per capita income. It increase the per capita income. Then frequency of occurrence. That is in a certain period of time. Economic growth we will find out in a certain period of time, but economic development is continuous process. Economic development is the continuous process. Continuously it will happen. Okay. Then government aid through economic growth. Automatic process may not require government support, aid or intervention. Directly the government does not intervene through economic growth, but in the same time through economic development the highly dependent on government intervention, as it includes widespread policy changes. Without government intervention is not possible through economic development. Okay, then wealth distribution. Through economic growth does not emphasize on a fair and equal distribution of wealth and income among all its people. That means the economic growth not give importance to distributing wealth or income equally for the people. In the same time, through economic development, it focuses on a balanced and equitable distribution of wealth among all individual and tries to uplift the downgrade societies. Okay, these are the differences between economic growth and economic development. Can you understand, students? Okay, the next one is developmental path based on GDP and employment. The next topic is developmental path based on GDP and employment. Okay, listen, students. In the development path of India, first undertook the policy of closed trade. Through the developmental path of India, first it undertook some of the policy. It is closed relationship with through trade. Okay, this is to give the thrust to domestic industries, and it reduce the dependence on foreign products and companies. Trade and interaction with the outside world remained limited. That means the industrialization areas inside the countries, they produced so many things. The dependence of foreign products are reduced. Okay, this outlook continued till 1991, when India finally decided to open its borders to free and liberalized economy, it allowing foreign companies to enter the Indian economy. It is one of the thirst. The important thrust was given to employment generation under 5-year plan. Okay, with the help of 5-year plan, the industrializations wise, we get the improvement. It make up for a rising population and lacking jobs to absorb the increased workforce size. Some of the rural development also given importance in India. For the important constituent was the Indian landscape. Okay, then poverty alleviation poverty alleviation came as a corollary of rural development and a part of the development path of India. India inherited a poverty stricken economy from the British rule, which had destroyed the resources base completely. Then the public sector was given significant importance. Private companies and industries also were bring some of the strict regulations and standards. It was believed that the government was the sole protector of the people and world work towards social welfare. Then, India has sustained rapid growth of GDP for most of the last 2 decades, leading to rising per capita income and a reduction in absolute poverty. That means comparing last 2 decades itself, India gets some of the improvement, rapid growth through GDP. So it reduced the poverty. It reduced the poverty. Per capita incomes have a doubled in 12 years. The per capita income bring development, um, uh, double size it to get to the development. That means between the 12 years. In per capita income, placing India just inside middle income country category. Then life expectancy at birth is 63 years and 44 percentage of children under 5 and malnourished that the children does not get some of the protein, okay, malnourished. The literacy rate for the population aged 15 years and above is only 63 percentage compared to a 71 percentage figure of lower middle income countries. Only 63 percentage children were get to the literacy up to the age of 15. India has followed a different path of development from many other countries. Comparing all other countries, India get some of the development through different path. Then quickly agricultural areas and services areas also India get so many improvement, and also it brings some of the tightly regulations than heavy industry. Some of the earning manufacturing gains also give some of the economic in Indian. It brings some of the improvement through the Indian economy. Okay, it is the developmental path based GDP and employment. Which are the factors supporting the Indian development, Indian economy's development? What are the factors are supporting to the development of Indian's economy? I will teach the next class. Okay, students, can you understand, students? Shall we recall the points? Students, now which topic we learned? Have you remember? Now we learned about economic growth and development. Is it? Now we learned about economic growth and development. Is it? What is economic growth? Very good. Economic growth is the quantitative measure which considers the rise in the output produced in an economy in a particular period of time. Is it? Economic growth, that is quantitative measure. Then for example, GDP of India is 2.8 trillion USD. It get to the sixth rank in global wise. Okay. Then likewise, we can identify the development of each year's economic growth. Then next we learned about economic development. Is it? What is economic development? Economic development, it is the quantitative measure. It is the quantitative measure which measures the improvement in technology, labor reforms, rising living standards, broader institutional changes in the economy. Through this way, we can identify the economic development. Is it? Then next we learned about the differences between economic growth and economic development. Is it? Next we learned about the differences between economic growth and economic development. From here, first of all, we learned about definition and meaning of economic growth and economic development. Is it? What is the definition of economic growth? Economic growth, it is the positive quantitative change in the output of an economy in a particular time of period. Then what is the definition and meaning of economic development? It raises the output of an economy along with the advancement of HDA index, which considers rise the living standard, advancement of technology, and overall happiness index of a nation. Okay. Then next, we learned about the concept of economic growth and economic development, then nature approach of economic growth and economic development, scope of economic growth and economic development, tenure of economic growth and economic development, applicability of economic growth and economic development. Then we learned about the measurement techniques of economic growth and economic development, frequency of occurrence of economic growth and economic development, government aid of economic growth and economic development. Then finally, we learned about wealth distribution of economic growth and economic development. Is it? These are one of the 5 mark question. From here, 5 points you have to learn. Okay, students. Then next, we learned about developmental path based on GDP and employment. Development path through putting some of the policy or and trade conduct, our economic condition will get some of the development. Okay, and also after 1991, the reforms were take important through industrialization. So the employment the people, most of the people get employment opportunities, and also the government put the 5 year plan. Through that 5 year plan also get some of the improvement in the areas of the economic condition, Indian economic areas. Okay, then India followed different path of development for many other countries. Comparing many other countries, India get so many development quickly. Some of the improvement we are get through agricultural areas, services areas, and the industrialized areas also. We get so many improvement. For example, many heavy industries were set up in India. Through that industries, our Indian economy get so many income. Okay, so our economic condition is developing. Okay, can understand, students? Then how the development we will get, what are the factors supporting Indian development, I will teach the next class. Okay, students, now Allah take a book. Students, Allah take a book now. Allah take a book. uh, Turn exercise pages. Students, now Allah take a book. Turn exercise page number 302. Page number 302. Write in detail answer. Okay, write in detail answer. Fourth question. Detail fourth question. Write any 5 differences between the growth and development. Write any 5 differences between the growth and development. Answer is page number 298. Page number 298. Question is any 5 differences. Question is any 5 differences. So you have to mark. First point is very very important, because economic growth, economic development, definition of and meaning of economic growth and development given. Sometimes 2 mark question from here they will ask. So first point you have to mark. Second point you have to mark. Third point, first, second, third. Then fourth point no need. Fifth and sixth points you have to mark. Okay. First point, definition and meaning you have to mark. Then concept, that point you have to mark. Then nature of approach, that is important point, that also you have to mark. Then tenure, short term of nature, long term of nature, that point also you have to mark. Applicability, developed nation, developing economics. Okay, these five points you have to mark. From here, first point, very very important. What is the definition and meaning of economic growth? Book inside question. Okay, you have to write the question. What is the definition and meaning of economic growth? That economic growth, that column you have to learn. Then what is the definition and meaning of economic development? That also you form the question. What is the definition and meaning of economic development? That tabular column, that point also you have to learn. Book inside 2 mark question. Okay, that is 2 question. Book inside 2 mark question. And also 5 points I given. Once again I am students, I will repeat now. First point, definition and meaning. Second point, concept. Third point, nature of approach. Then fourth point, tenure, term or tenure. Fifth point, applicability. Okay, that 5 points you have to mark it. Okay, student, day-to-day portion you have to learn. Write in your rough note, correct it, get your parent's signature. Okay, so you have to learn well. You will soonly you are going to write the public exam. So day-to-day portion you have to learn. So students, very careful, listen very careful, study well and pray well. Okay, we will meet the next class. Thank you.